Well, we're in 2023 and today I'm going to be doing my first what I ate in a day for the new year. If this is the first time that you are on my channel, welcome, and my name is Debbie. I'm a plant-based RN and I follow the Starch solution. Here you're going to find whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes that are also gluten-free and are quick and easy. You can follow me on Instagram at @ChewOnVegan for more plant-based content. And if you're new to this way of eating or if you need some support, I started a Facebook group and all those links will be in the description box below. So be sure to check those out. So as I said, I'm going to be doing what I ate in a day today. I'm going to be showing you a savory potato waffle for breakfast. I'm going to be doing a delicious chickpea noodle soup for lunch. And then dinner is going to be really easy, probably just some veggies and potatoes with some cheese sauce. But in between all that, I'm going to do some food prep for the week. So I'm going to show you how I get it all together and how I can make all my meals during the day and yet get all my prep done. It's really easy. And I like to start with the things that take the longest, and that way I can get those going and then I can start my breakfast and then just move on throughout my day. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a sweet potato and a russet in the oven because they're going to go about an hour. I prefer the Japanese sweet potato, or this is the white sweet potato or the Hana. They're really sweet and you want them to go an hour so they get nice and ooey gooey. So I'm just going to poke a couple holes in this one, then the russet. And then for the sweet potato, look at that. It looks like a little seal. Can you see that? So we're just going to cut the ends off. And then we're going to put this in a preheated oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. So while these are cooking, I'm going to be doing all the other prep along with making my breakfast. So you're going to see how easy this really is. I know some people are a little bit intimidated by food prep, but it's really easy. Next up, I'm going to start my cheese sauce. Actually, this is not my cheese sauce. This is Broccoli Mum's cheese sauce. And it is really good. I like my cheese sauce, but I like this one as well. And it's really low fat. There's no nuts in it. I'll leave her information below along with the full recipe. So it starts with about a head of cauliflower, but I'm going to use half. This was a very large head of cauliflower. So I'm just going to put these in here, real simple. I'm going to cut off some of these stalks a little bit. And then I've got about 4 potatoes that I'm just going to chop up here. I'm using Yukon Gold, but you could use whatever kind of potatoes you like. If you want to do russets, red potatoes, whatever. Okay, I'm going to add some water to this pot and get them on to boil, and when they're fork tender, I will show you how I finish it up. Next, I want to steam up some vegetables, and I just chopped up the other half of that cauliflower. And then I've got a couple heads of broccoli that I'm going to steam. And I pack this thing pretty full. Yeah, this is a great little steamer. I use it probably almost every day. Then I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to microwave this for about 7 minutes. Depending on your microwave, 5 to 7 minutes. And then I'll just set these aside. I'll probably have this with dinner. So I'm going to go put these in the microwave, and then I've got one more thing I'm going to get started, and then we'll start working on that waffle. Okay, next up I'm going to put these into my Instant Pot. These are a mini potato medley. It's about 1.5 pounds. I've got purple, red, and white potatoes. I'm just going to go wash these off, and then we will put them in our Instant Pot, and we're going to set this on 10 minutes at high pressure, and then we'll just let it naturally release while I'm doing other things in the kitchen. So I just have a little bit of cold water on the bottom, about 1 inch. I've got my steamer basket, and then I'm just going to dump these in. You could actually do twice as much of this if you have a big family or you want to feed more people, but this is going to be great for my husband and myself. So I'm going to go put these on and then we will make our waffle. So the first thing you want to do is get your waffle iron going, because you want this thing screaming hot. That's how you're going to prevent things from sticking, is you want a really nicely preheated waffle iron. And this is a non-stick. And while that's heating up, we're going to mix all our other ingredients. So I've got about 2 cups of leftover mashed potatoes, and you want them to be room temperature. You don't want them to be cold. It's easier to work with them when it's just at room temperature. So to this, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of thawed out frozen riced cauliflower. I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup of steamed broccoli. This is just leftover. And then I've got some red onion and some green onion. That's going to go in. And then maybe a 1/4 cup of shredded carrot. So you're getting all your non-starchy vegetables in with your starch. So I'm gonna get this incorporated. I make a mess. And then for spices, I have garlic powder, onion powder, and smoked paprika. And I'm not adding any salt to this because the original recipe for the mashed potatoes that has salt in it. If you want to add more salt, that's fine. And my recipe for mashed potatoes is basically just soy milk and salt. It's nothing fancy. I can leave you a link to the recipe, and you can certainly taste it and see if you want to add, maybe you want to add some pepper, whatever you want to do. And you can mix and match the veggies. You don't have to do this combo. Use what you have. Sometimes I'll smash up some pinto beans or chickpeas and add it to it. So, you can do whatever you'd like. You could add corn, just depending on what you're in the mood for and what you have handy. So it's looking pretty hot. And then I'm just gonna scoop, I'm gonna put a little in each quadrant here. And it's hot, so please be careful. I think I made this one a little bit too big. Okay, and then just kind of smush them down, being careful. And you just want them, each quadrant to be covered with some potato. You're gonna want to cook this for at least 10 minutes minimum, okay? So put that lid down, make sure it's on there tight, and don't peek. 10 minutes minimum. Then you'll check it, and if it doesn't release easily, if it's not golden brown, it needs more time. So do a couple minutes and check again, and then if you need another minute or two, and it's gonna steam like heck. So that's normal, don't worry about it. And the steaming will dissipate as it gets closer to being done. All right, I'm going to get our cheese sauce going because the cauliflower and potatoes are done, and I'm gonna show you how easy this cheese sauce is. Okay, so we're just gonna scoop out our potatoes and cauliflower and get them into the blender. And you're gonna use some of this cooking water, so you don't wanna dump it out. Then we'll add our spices, salt, garlic powder, onion powder. We've got some nutritional yeast. We've got a 1/4 cup of soy milk. And then we're gonna use about half a cup of this cooking water. Then some lemon juice. About half a lemon. All right, I'm gonna go mix this up and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It is gorgeous. And look at that creaminess. And I did add about another half a cup of water because I had a lot of cauliflower. This is so good. So this is so delicious, and you just need to reheat it in the microwave. You can stick it in the refrigerator, then when you want it, just reheat it in a pan or in the microwave, and it's great on everything. Now, Some people are like, that's not a cheese sauce. Well, it's a cheese sauce, okay? You can just tell people it's a delicious sauce for your veggies. You're not gonna fool anybody and they're gonna think this is, you know, cheddar cheese sauce, but it is so good. So again, I will link her recipe below. And I think it's time to check our waffle. All right, let's check our waffle. And then we'll see if it will really, oh, look at that. Now, one of my viewers told me about this. You get one of these, this is a stick for like making caramel apples or even a shish kebab stick. And you can get it out and not ruin your non-stick. So I thought that was genius. And then I'll put some of this delicious cheese sauce on it. And look at that. Freaking awesome. All right, I'm gonna go enjoy breakfast. I've got a second one cooking, so if I'm still hungry, I'll eat that one. And yeah, this recipe makes about 2 good-sized waffles. Okay, the potatoes are done. And they came out perfect. So I'm gonna let these cool completely. You wanna make sure that you cool your potatoes completely before you refrigerate them. And I don't like putting them in a Ziploc bag. They get slimy, I don't know. They just get weird. So I like to just store them in a bowl, a covered bowl, or even uncovered is fine. But let them cool completely, that's really important. Okay, I think I'm gonna start making my soup. This is what you wanna see. See all that stuff oozing out of the sweet potato? That is just pure yum. So hour and 15 minutes for these two. I'm gonna set them aside, let them cool. And now we're gonna move on to the soup. So to start off our soup, we're gonna saute some veggies. I've got celery, carrot, and some onion. So I'm just gonna chop these up and then we'll add them to our pot. We're not gonna be using any oil. We're just gonna saute in water. And I love this new cutting board my daughter got me for Christmas. It's so pretty. I'll ask her where she got it and maybe I'll put a link down below if you guys are interested in it. Now I'm just gonna chop up the carrot and then I'm just gonna use half this onion, it's pretty big. And then I'm gonna meet you over at the stove. So you want a nice big pot, like a Dutch oven, this is perfect. I've got about 4 tablespoons of water and I'm just gonna saute the veggies in the water. And I've got my onion, celery, and carrot. So that's just gonna all go in. We're gonna saute these veggies for about 7 minutes until they are nice and tender. So you wanna cook them to the point where they are softened. You don't want them mushy because they're gonna continue to cook as we add other things. So now we're gonna add garlic, a couple cloves, and I've got some Italian seasoning and some onion powder. And just let this cook for another minute. Now we're gonna add in about 7 cups of water. And then I'm gonna add 2 bouillon cubes. This is the not chicken bouillon, and this is the low sodium. A lot of you were concerned about the amount of sodium in the regular, so I did start using the low sodium for you guys. All right, so we have a little simmer going here. So we're gonna add a can of rinsed and drained chickpeas and about 2 cups of pasta. I'm using gluten-free. And then we're just going to let this cook for 10 to 12 minutes or until the pasta is al dente. And the last thing I do is I add in 1 cup of finely chopped kale. You can leave that out, but I recommend that you don't. Greens are so beneficial for you. It gives you so much nutrition and vitamins and minerals, and then you're getting more fiber. So then I'll just let this cook for another minute and then we will be done. Now since I've been cooking and prepping and filming, I'm gonna make my dinner super easy. So I've got some of my potatoes that I steamed earlier, my veggies I steamed earlier, and I'm just going to smash these a little bit, you know. Open them up, I've got some of that delicious cheese sauce, broccoli mums, low fat, so good, no nuts. And that'll be dinner tonight. I might put a little bit of pepper on there, but that is it. And this is definitely a great 50-50 plate. Okay, so here you have it. I've got my waffle I had for breakfast. I have my soup I had for lunch. This is my dinner. And I made a sweet potato and a russet potato. And look at this. That is what you want. This is going to be so sweet. When you put it in the refrigerator, it's going to get even sweeter. When you heat it up the next day, it's so delicious. Then I've got all these potatoes, veggies. So I have choices for the week when I get home. And I've got a ton of soup. I'm going to take that to work every day. And then I can have veggies and I can have potatoes when I get home. You know, I could make fries out of the russet. Many options. So this didn't really take me that long today, and you can do this while you're doing other things. So, you know, put aside an hour, hour and a half, bake some potatoes, steam some veggies. Oh yeah, and the cheese sauce. Made the cheese sauce. Can't forget the cheese sauce, the delicious cheese sauce here. So all in all, a really good day of low fat, high carb, low calorie density, great for weight loss. And I hope this gives you some ideas for yourself. I hope this video gave you some ideas on what kind of meals you can make. Simple, easy, don't complicate it. These are great for after work. They're great for any time actually. Just make sure that you have things in your fridge ready to go. You can have frozen veggies in the freezer. You just want to have choices when you come home, things that are really quick to put together. If you made it this far in the video, please comment below with what I eat. And that way I know you made it to the end of the video with me, and I really appreciate your support. Again, check out the links below for my Facebook group. I have a newsletter. I also have an e-guide that you might want to check out. And remember that all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet. And when you put on your plate, determines your fate. Until next time, thank you.